Hi, it's Charlie McCann from Stan James. Welcome to a preview of the Australian Open Tennis Championship, which starts on Melbourne on the weekend, I think Sunday into Monday. And let's first of all start at looking at the men's title. Defending champion Rafa Nadal is back. He's a 3-1 shot, and the money's been for him. He was 4-1. I know he got beat by Davydenko, won the first set 6-zip on that occasion, but he lost to Davydenko in 3. But Nadal looks as if he's back and back to his best. He's been the one for money. Falls into 3-1. Federer going on the other way. He lost to Davydenko in the semi-final of his prep tournament. Federer 9-4 out to 11-4. Then you get to the 2 5-1 shots. The US Open champion Juan Martín del Potro, massive year this is for him. Remember, he's a little bit younger than the other 5-1 shot, which is Andy Murray. Del Potro won Grand Slam majors, and Andy Murray, of course, is still zip. I'm afraid to say, will it be another barren year in 2010 for the Scot? Or he'll be a Brit, of course, if he wins. It's Djokovic then is an 11-2 shot. He's the 2008 champion, of course, former champion. His only sole Grand Slam win to date. He beat Jan-Wilfried Tsonga on that occasion. 9-1 then for Davydenko, and he is very much a player in form at the moment. Remember, he won in the O2, the end of year highlight, and then of course he beat both Federer and Nadal. And 9-1 may be slightly big. Murray, remember, is seeded 5, and that of course could be significant when we find out the draw on Friday this week. It's 20-1 then bar for Andy Roddick. He's been a semi-finalist before now, and then Marin Cilic, a quarter-finalist last year. He's a 25-1 shot. And it's 50-1 bar. 50-1 includes Tsonga, runner-up here in 2008, and 150-1 maybe for Leighton Hewitt. And Leighton Hewitt has been a finalist in this tournament on home court as well. Just going back to Andy Murray, let's think of the number of Grand Slams we think. Stan James, we have a number of specials for Murray. How many Grand Slams will he win in 2010? Well, we've got none as the favourite. Another barren year, we think. Non 8-13, 1 11-8, 2 8-1. Now we're getting into the more fictitious, probably, and 3 Grand Slam wins for Murray is a 66-1 shot, and all 4 for Murray to go from the Australian Open to the US Open, win all 4 is a 400-1 shot. I personally wouldn't go near it myself. But remember, you've got to remember this tournament, the Australian Open, and you've got 3s and 11-4, the big 2, just a shade of odds on for that. But in the final in recent years, we've had Arnaud Clément, Rainer Schuttler, we've had Marcos Baghdadis, we have Jan-Wilfried Tsonga, Maris Safin got to a couple of them. So this is a tournament that does throw up a bit of shock. And maybe Hewitt, of course, formally engaged, of course, to Kim Clijsters. When we go into the ladies' tournament, Kim Clijsters, of course, will be one of the favourites for that. But Federer 11-4 and Nadal 3-1, but I'd look outside the box for them. I think Davydenko at 9s, and I'm sorry to say, out of the 2 young upstarts as well, it looks as if Del Potro has leapfrogged Andy Murray, and maybe back-to-back Grand Slam wins for the US Open title holder. Just a number as well, quickly, as also Murray, we've got Federer, Nadal, Djokovic Grand Slam wins. Federer, for example, no Grand Slam wins is the favourite with Stan James 11-8 to win 115-8. It's a 7-4 shot for Wimbledon, remember, 7-4 for Wimbledon, normally odds on at this stage of the season. 2 Grand Slam wins for Federer, 3-1, 10-1 bar. Nadal 5-4, we make the favourite, and of course that is generally the French Open, which normally is a shoe-in. Of course, he's injury prevented in last year, but for Nadal, very good on this occasion. We've also got odds. Do check stanjames.com for number of will Murray win an ATP clay court title? Will he lose in the first round? And I think fascinating markets. Also got top Frenchman, for example, top American besides Roddick. I think those fascinating markets as well. I fancy James Blake against Sam Querrey and John Hills and myself 3-1. Do check them out with Stan James. Let's go to the ladies singles. The first person to start it is with the 11-4 favourite. 11-4 again. That's all for Serena. Of course, she lost to Clijsters in the US Open. She's a 4-time former champion in Australia. She's won in 2003, 2005, 2007 and 2009. So she shouldn't win this year. She should wait till next year in 2011 before she wins her 5th Australian Open. I think it's wonderful. Clijsters, of course, is a 7-2 shot. Never won the Australian Open. 7-2. She, of course, won in New York last time, and she beat Justine Henin in Brisbane in her prep tournament. That was a fascinating. She was 4-1 up and a set in 4-1, and then she lost 10 games in a row to her former arch rival, the other Belgian, Justine Henin. Coming back, she'll have a wild card, so of course she could she could draw Clijsters, or she could draw Serena Williams in the first round. She's likely to be unseeded. More of that on Friday. Justine Henin is the 2004 champion. She's a 4-1 shot. It's Maria Sharapova. Remember, she had that shoulder injury in 2009, just getting back to form towards the end of the season. She's a former champion in Melbourne. She's 9-1. Venus, a sister. I can't have Venus with counterfeit. I must say, I can't have Venus. She's a 12-1 shot. Elena Dementieva, similarly 12-1. Victoria Azarenka is 18s. And the one, Caroline Wozniacki, of course, who reached the final, the semi-finals rather, in the US, in America. She's an 18-1 shot as well. Just seeing, isn't it strange, the second seed, likely to be the second seed, Donara Safina is a 22-1 shot. You've got to remember, for going back last year, she only got 3 games in the final against Williams. So the defending champions are 3-1 Rafael Nadal and Serena Williams at 11-4. I think Serena will probably come out. I think she'll avenge that defeat against Clijsters. But I think we could just see a shock in the men's. What about Nikolai Davydenko to win his first Grand Slam at 9-1? Be lucky.